Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here, and welcome to today's day after discussion episode of the Oilers 3-2 overtime victory over the Ottawa Senators. In today's video, I'm not going to be discussing everything about that Ottawa game. I'm going to be taking a look at the road trip as a whole. The Oilers on that 5-game road trip went 2-3. They return home for one game against Montreal, and then they're right back on the road for a little West Coast swing. They'll play Seattle and Vancouver this weekend. Very much looking forward to seeing those games. One of them I will be seeing live, so that is going to be very exciting. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, something I'm discussing in today's video is the play of Darnell Nurse so far this season. It is a small sample size. A 7-game sample is small in comparison to what I usually like to do with evaluating what's going on the ice. But I think when certain players are where Darnell Nurse are with their ranks among all NHL defensemen, there's a big problem here, and we have to discuss that. First, though, let's kind of go over the standouts for the Edmonton Oilers on that road trip and the not-so-standouts. So, day after, like I mentioned, team stats on the road trip for the Oilers, they were 2-3. They scored 12 goals in 5 games. They gave up 15 goals in their 5 games. They had a 45.62 Corsi for percentage, 43.98 expected goals for percentage at 5-on-5. That is abysmal, but their team save percentage at 5-on-5, 92.86%. That's a .928 save percentage, folks. Goaltenders have been giving this team a chance to win. They've been holding them in these games. They're lucky. They're lucky Stu is not playing like he did at points during the season last year. Otherwise, they'd be getting blown out every single game right now. I don't know what is going on with Edmonton. I don't know if it is a motivational issue. I don't know if it's just a lack of energy issue, a lack of I don't know what the word would be to use here. These are professional athletes. This is a team that has been in the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. Yes, there's a lot of turnover on the roster. There's a lot of new faces in that forward group, but this team on paper should still be much better than how they've been playing. There were a few standouts on the road trip for the Edmonton Oilers, though. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had 3 goals and 1 assist on the road trip. He was a -3, though you can argue none of the goals he was on the ice for were his fault. He also was one of only 3 players with a positive expected goals for percentage on that road trip. He had a 53.40 expected goals for percentage. Very happy with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' play overall. When he's on the ice, good things are generally happening. He's actually had a terrific start to the season for Edmonton, and when Nugent-Hopkins is playing better than guys like Leon and Connor, that just shows kind of where the team's at right now, where everyone needs to start to pick up their game. Happy for Nugent-Hopkins' play. I hope he can sustain this throughout the course of the season, but obviously a lot of work to be done here moving forward. Ty Emberson was also a standout on this road trip for the Oilers. He had 0 goals, 2 assists. He was a +3 rating, one of the only players to be a plus on this road trip, and he had a 53.17 expected goals for percentage. Ty Emberson, again, when he's on the ice, him and Brett Kulak, they had some pretty good numbers together. They were working very, very well together. I would like to see Ty Emberson kind of stay in the lineup for now. Troy Stecher obviously is now out of the lineup. Thank goodness. I think Troy Stecher, we can all agree, was just not it on that road trip play next to Darnell Nurse. It was just an abysmal defense pairing. I don't know why they weren't trying to switch things up, get a different look at the defense pairs, because it's obvious Troy Stecher is not playing the way he did last year when him and Nurse were paired together, but a lot of that has to do with Darnell Nurse's play as well. We will get to that. Another standout on the road trip was Connor McDavid. He had 1 goal, 4 assists. Now, he was a -4. 2 of those are empty netters against. One of them was a goal that Stuart Skinner should have stopped. It was that weird half-wall shot from Dylan Larkin that, like, Stuart Skinner, I don't know what happened. So I would say 3 of that -4, I don't pin on Connor McDavid. He had a 53.81 expected goals for percentage, which, again, very few players actually were driving play during the road trip, especially at 5-on-5. Connor McDavid was one of the rare players that was actually pushing play into the offensive zone when he was on the ice. We'd like to see him shoot a little bit more. He was deferring too much, but I think now that Connor McDavid has a goal, he scored on the power play last night. I think hopefully here in Oil Country, we're hoping that gets his game going. That gets the gears moving a little bit. He gets a little extra jump in his step, and we start to see the Connor McDavid that we are used to, or that we're accustomed to seeing here in Oil Country. This is not the type of Connor McDavid that we are used to watching here. So hopefully he's able to turn his game around very quickly. Hopefully this is the start now that he has a goal under his belt on a bit of a scoring spree for the team. Now, the not so standouts. Darnell Nurse, 0 goals, 1 assist, a -3 rating. He had 4 penalty minutes. He had 2 penalties against the Ottawa Senators specifically, and a 22.05 expected goals for percentage on that road trip. That ranked dead last on the team. That is abysmal. That is horrifying. It means when he's on the ice, he's stuck in his own zone the entire time. And it's not just the analytics either. I think the eye test, most of us can agree, his passing has been sloppy. He's bobbling pucks when he has them. He's rushing plays. He's icing the puck a lot. And Darnell Nurse on the ice right now is a detriment to this team's success. If he was not a leader in that locker room, if he was not wearing the A, if he was not someone that's been with the team for a long time, and if he was not someone that plays 20 minutes a night on that defensive core, this is a player that I would hope the organization would look at and be like, you need to sit for a couple of games, because his game has been absolutely atrocious. This might be the worst stretch of hockey I've ever seen Darnell Nurse play. The eye test shows it, the analytics prove it, and there's more to discuss with Nurse a little bit later in this video. For now, I'll move on to Trent Frederic. He had 0 goals, 1 assist on the road trip, a -2 rating. He had 1 penalty that he took, so 2 penalty minutes, and a 31.86 expected goals for percentage. Trent Frederic on that road trip was yanked off the top line from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and he hasn't done anything since being yanked off that top line. He didn't do anything on that top line. Trent Frederic continues to look uncomfortable, and he looks confused about his role. And I wouldn't blame him, right? He signed, when he signed his big contract extension this summer, 8 years, by the way, 4 years of that is a full no move. Thank you so much, Stan Bowman, for that. One of the few blemishes on Stan Bowman's tenure here in oil country is this Trent Frederic contract here. The money itself isn't horrible. It's just the length and the amount of years for the no move clause. I don't know. But Trent Frederic, when he signed that contract, he was hoping to play third line center, and they started him in preseason on a scoring line with Leon and Connor, and it doesn't make any sense why they did that. And now they're trying to put him in that third line role, but he's not playing center. He's playing third line left wing. I think he actually prefers to play a little bit of right wing in his career. So I don't really know what they're doing with Trent Frederic. Part of it is the player not playing good enough, and part of it is the organization and Chris Knoblauch specifically not putting him in a place to succeed. And that's kind of been the story of the season with Chris Knoblauch. He is not optimizing his lineup. He is not putting players in positions to succeed right now. Some of it falls on the players. Some of it falls on the coaches to try and get the best out of the lineup that they're given. And right now, Trent Frederic is not being utilized the way I think he envisioned and the way that the fans and organization envisioned. Hopefully, he's able to turn his game around. I like Trent Frederic a lot. I think he is a good player, but so far this season, it has not been very good. And then the other not-so-standout was Troy Stecher. He had 6 penalty minutes on this road trip. Yes, he took 3 minor penalties. He was a +1 rating somehow and a 29.86 expected goals for percentage. Him and Nurse had the worst expected goals for percentage among the D-men, and that tracks because they played together most of the road trip. Stecher played in 4 of the games. He didn't play against Ottawa. Jake Wallman came back, and thank goodness for that. But let's talk about Darnell Nurse specifically. This is where we're getting into the Darnell Nurse discussion. Darnell Nurse's 5v5 NHL ranks among defensemen with 100 minutes of time on ice in the 2025-2026 season. This is all at 5-on-5, his ranks among all defensemen who have played 100 minutes. He has a 40.18 Corsi for percentage, which ranks 104th out of 106 D-men. Third last. 46.08 shots for percentage. That ranks 88th out of 106 D-men. 0% goals for percentage. Yes, Darnell Nurse in 7 games has not been on the ice for a single goal for at 5-on-5. That ranks dead last in the entire NHL. A 28.81 expected goals for percentage. That ranks dead last in the entire NHL. The eye test, the actual stats. You want to look at actual goals, the expected goals. Darnell Nurse is a black hole right now. I've never seen a player with stats like this. And this is why, a lot of people will point at it's only 7 games. He hasn't shown anything that he's going to get out of this hole, right? If he needs Jake Wallman to babysit him all season, this is going to be a problem. We need Nurse to turn it around. Scoring chances for. This is not high danger chances. This is just regular scoring chances at 5-on-5. He's been on the ice for 27 scoring chances for. That ranks dead last. The Oilers generate absolutely nothing when he is on the ice. Scoring chances against, 56 scoring chances against, which ranks 80th. High danger chances for 105th. That's second last in the entire league. So when he's on the ice, the high danger chances for, you're not getting any with Darnell Nurse. If you want him to have a good breakout pass, if you want him to find one of the big guns in Connor or Leon, if you want him to even just make a simple 5-foot pass and get in on transition, that's not happening. He is abysmal when he's on the ice. 10 high danger chances for, second last in the league rank. High danger chances against, 24 high danger chances against, which ranks 84th out of 106. And then time on ice per game at 5-on-5. You would think someone with the stats that Darnell Nurse is putting up right now, he would not be seeing the ice very much. Nope. He ranks 19th in the entire NHL in time on ice per game at 5v5. He is averaging 18 minutes and 35 seconds of ice time at 5-on-5 per game. That is 19th highest among 106 D-men, and I don't understand this. Obviously, the coaching staff at Edmonton isn't going to put Kulak and Emberson out for 18 minutes a night, but Darnell Nurse's ice time has to be lowered significantly. Significantly. I would lower it by 2 or 3 minutes per game. At minimum. He cannot be in the bottom percentile in all of these stats and then be in the top 20% in ice time. That doesn't make any sense to me. And it also shows that the coaching staff is not rewarding players based on their play right now, right? We see young guys like Noah Philp, they'll score a goal. Oh, you're out of the lineup now, right? Isaac Howard scored against Ottawa. We don't know if he's going to play against Montreal tomorrow. He likely does, but this is just an example, right? This is an example of what Chris Knoblauch has been doing this season. David Tomaszek, one of the better forwards on the team, at least analytically, he's pulled out of the lineup periodically this season. At least once he's been pulled out of the lineup when I didn't think he deserved to be pulled out of the lineup. Guys like Trent Frederick can go and coast around and do cardio for 15, 16 minutes a night. Whereas guys like David Tomaszek are actively playing like a power forward. They're driving the blue paint. They're using their body for positioning. They are given some power play time as well. Tomaszek has 2 assists on the power play this season. Yet a guy like Tomaszek will be sat over a veteran like Trent Frederick. Make it make sense, folks. Chris Knoblauch has a big problem here, and if he does not sort this out soon, the Edmonton Oilers are not going to be a playoff team. I don't want this to be a doom and gloom video, but when I always do the research and I'm looking up stats, unless something changes significantly in the way Edmonton plays or the way Chris Knoblauch utilizes his lineup, the Edmonton Oilers are in big trouble. They are not a good team right now, and they really, they have to turn it around. Tomorrow night, they play Montreal. The high-flying, young, exciting, fast Montreal Canadiens, ton of youth, ton of speed. The Oilers are going to have to play their best hockey of the season to get a win tomorrow against Montreal. They're going to have to play just as good as they did against Vancouver on the first Saturday of the season. And arguably, they may even have to play better than they played in that Vancouver game because of how Montreal plays, the speed that they play with. And for Darnell Nurse, this is wild. What his play is unacceptable for someone that is asked to play as much ice time as he is per game. And the fact that the media has already gone after Bouchard this season, but nobody in Edmonton mainstream media will ever have the balls to call out Darnell Nurse's poor play. Wild to me. But I wanted to call it out because I call it as I see it. I've already called out Evan Bouchard a bunch this season as well. It's Darnell Nurse's turn to be put under the spotlight a little bit. Turn the game around. This whole team, Chris Knoblauch, top to bottom, everyone needs to be better here. I don't know what else to say. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow morning, I'll have a pregame report up before the game against Montreal tomorrow night. I may do a live stream. I may be live streaming tomorrow. Keep an eye out. I may not. If you don't see anything posted a couple hours before game time, safe to assume something came up. I'm not going to do a live stream, but I'll see what I can do, all right? We'll see you soon. I'm excited for the games this weekend. If you're part of the nation vacation, I'm excited to see you there. And yeah, we'll see you soon, Oil Country. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers.